Welcome to Mr. Darkman TV, your ultimate destination for deep dives into the most thrilling and hot stories from the world of entertainment, culture, and beyond. If you enjoy our content, don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated on our latest stories. Hosted by Zainab Sabir Shah, today's episode uncovers a storm brewing in the vibrant city of Hyderabad, a controversy that intertwines politics, economics, and cultural identity. The government's decision to host the 72nd Miss World pageant in Hyderabad has ignited a fierce debate. Critics argue that this extravagant event, estimated to cost around 200 Indian rupees crore, is ill-timed amidst the state's financial challenges, including a reported deficit of 71,000 Indian rupees crore and unmet obligations such as pensions and government employee salaries. Supporters, however, contend that the pageant will elevate Telangana's global stature and stimulate tourism. This story delves into the heart of this controversy, exploring the multifaceted perspectives and the broader implications for the state's future. On February 19, 2025, Telangana's government, in collaboration with Morley, chairperson and CEO of Miss World Limited, and Smita Sabharwal, secretary to the government of Telangana, Tourism, Culture, Heritage, and Youth Affairs Department, announced that Hyderabad would host the 72nd Miss World pageant from May 7th to 31st, 2025. This marks the upcoming Miss World 2025 pageant, set to be held in India, has reignited memories of the controversial 1996 Miss World event, which was hosted in Bengaluru amid massive protests and political backlash. Back then, the pageant, organized by Amitabh Bachchan's ABCL, faced fierce opposition from a coalition of right-wing groups, feminists, and farmers' unions, who saw it as a symbol of Western decadence eroding Indian culture. The protests were so intense that the swimsuit round had to be relocated to Seychelles for safety reasons, while demonstrators, ranging from Hindu nationalists to women's rights activists, took to the streets, with some even threatening self-immolation. The event became a flashpoint in India's cultural wars, pitting traditionalists against proponents of globalization, especially after Aishwarya and Sushmita's son had brought global fame to Indian beauty queens in 1994. Fast forward to 2025, and while India has since hosted numerous international events, the legacy of the 1996 protests lingers, even as Telangana prepares to welcome the next edition of Miss World with a mix of excitement and cautious optimism. This time, however, the conversation has shifted. Feminist critiques now focus on body positivity and inclusivity, while conservative voices remain wary of perceived moral compromises. As the world watches, India's hosting of Miss World 2025 will not only be a celebration of beauty and empowerment, but also a reflection of how much, or how little, the country's cultural landscape has evolved since the fiery debates of 1996. It marked the third time India would host the event, with previous editions held in Bengaluru in 1996 and Mumbai in 2024. The announcement was made with great fanfare, highlighting the state's rich cultural heritage and its ambition to become a global tourism hub. At the time of the announcement, Telangana was grappling with significant financial challenges. Reports indicated a fiscal deficit of 71,000 Indian rupees crore, raising concerns about the state's economic health. Essential financial obligations, including pensions and government employee salaries, were reportedly delayed, leading to unrest among various sectors. The government's acknowledgement of negative growth further fueled apprehensions about the state's fiscal management. The decision to host the Miss World pageant amidst financial distress drew sharp criticism from the opposition party, Bharat Rashtra Samiti (BRS). Working President KT Rama Rao (KTR) questioned the government's priorities, highlighting the incongruity of allocating 200 Indian rupees crore for a beauty pageant while essential welfare schemes remained underfunded. KTR also pointed out the cancellation of the Formula E race, an international event that was scrapped despite costing only 46 Indian rupees crore under the previous administration, contrasting it with the hefty expenditure on the pageant. Chief Minister Revanth Reddy and his administration defended the decision, asserting that hosting the Miss World pageant would enhance Telangana's global reputation and align with the state's long-term vision of becoming an international hub. They argued that the event would showcase Telangana's rich cultural heritage, boost tourism, and attract international attention, potentially leading to economic benefits that could offset the initial expenditure. The public's reaction was polarized. Supporters viewed the event as an opportunity to put Telangana on the global map, potentially attracting investments and boosting local businesses. Critics, however, saw it as a misallocation of resources, especially when basic financial obligations were unmet. Social media platforms buzzed with debates, reflecting the divided opinions among the populace. To understand the gravity of the controversy, it's essential to look back at similar events in India's history. The 1996 Miss World pageant in Bengaluru faced massive protests from women's groups and cultural organizations, who viewed it as promoting Western ideals over Indian values. The swimsuit round had to be moved to Seychelles due to the backlash. This historical precedent added fuel to the current debate, with critics fearing a repeat of past controversies. Economists weighed in on the debate, analyzing the potential return on investment from hosting the pageant. While some argued that the influx of tourists and international media could boost the local economy, others pointed out that such benefits are often short-lived and may not justify the substantial expenditure, especially when the state is facing a fiscal deficit. The pageant also sparked discussions about cultural representation. Telangana, known for its rich heritage and traditions, planned to showcase its handloom textiles by having contestants wear garments made from local fabrics. While this initiative aimed to promote local artisans, some critics argued that it commercialized cultural symbols, reducing them to mere spectacles for a global audience. The controversy had significant political implications. The BRS capitalized on the issue to question the Congress government's fiscal responsibility, potentially swaying public opinion ahead of upcoming elections. The Congress, on the other hand, maintained that the event was a strategic move to boost the state's global standing and economic prospects. Internationally, hosting the Miss World pageant is often seen as a marker of a city's or state's prominence. However, in recent years, there's been growing criticism of such events for promoting unrealistic beauty standards and failing to align with contemporary values of inclusivity and diversity. Telangana's decision to host the pageant amidst these evolving perspectives added another layer to the controversy. As the pageant date approached, preparations were in full swing. Infrastructure developments, security arrangements, and promotional campaigns were expedited to ensure the event's success. Amidst this hustle, the debate continued, with both supporters and critics voicing their opinions louder than ever. The Miss World pageant commenced on May 7, 2025, with participants from over 120 countries arriving in Hyderabad. The city buzzed with excitement, and events were held across various venues, showcasing Telangana's culture and hospitality. The grand finale on May 31st was a star-studded affair, drawing international attention. In the immediate aftermath, supporters hailed the event as a success, citing increased tourist footfall and global media coverage. Critics, however, remained skeptical, questioning whether the short-term gains justified the expenditure, especially in light of ongoing financial challenges. Chapter 14: Long-Term Impact. Months after the event, analyses were conducted to assess the long-term impact. While there was a temporary boost in tourism and local businesses, the anticipated long-term economic benefits were less evident. The state's financial woes persisted, and debates about fiscal responsibility continued. Chapter 15: Lessons Learned. The controversy surrounding the Miss World pageant in Telangana highlighted the complexities of balancing cultural promotion, economic considerations, and public sentiment. It underscored the need for transparent decision-making processes and aligning large-scale events with the state's immediate priorities and long-term goals. Conclusion: the saga of Telangana hosting the 72nd Miss World pageant serves as a case study in governance, economics, and cultural identity. It reflects the challenges governments face in making decisions that balance global aspirations with local realities. As Telangana moves forward, the lessons learned from this controversy could inform future policies, ensuring that the state's development is both inclusive and sustainable.